Are you getting ready to wrap up an event and you're just looking for some inspiration about what to ask your team? Or maybe you are at the end of the year when this video is dropping and you think that you should reevaluate some of your processes. Well, one of my favorite parts, which is a lot of people's least favorite part, is the post-event process and the feedback and gathering all that information from myself, from my team, and giving that to my event client. And I'm going to give you 4 questions that you should ask your team during your next event debrief. Before we get into it, I'm Logan Clements, freelance event producer, and I do want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on that little notification bell so you get notified every single Monday when I drop new videos. If you also love more free content, I am the co-host of the Better Events podcast with fellow event pro Mary Davidson. And in this podcast, we share our event knowledge about specific topics each week. We also bring in experts and other event pros to interview them about their niches and passions. It's everything from how to build or run a show, to writing a great event proposal, to Instagram marketing, or talking about burnout and how we blow off event stress. There is something for everyone, and you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, if you've watched a couple of my videos before, you know that I kind of nerd out about my post-event process because I think it is something that we are all so energized during the planning process, during the event itself, and then you kind of like run out of steam at the end. I am going to link to my video where I talk about how to create the perfect event, and spoiler alert, it has to do with your post-event work. So this is something that I wanted to make another video on because I recently kind of upgraded my process in the way that I'm doing it, and I wanted to share it all with you because it was so effective in getting great feedback from my team. You're talking to a girl who has done multiple surveys for people. I have a Word doc that I've asked everybody to fill out before, and I don't think anything has worked so well as this recent debrief that I did using these 4 guiding questions, and then I will share the software that I used because it was so handy. But let's get into the questions. So you kind of have to tier them. Again, you don't want to ask too many questions or it really confuses people, but the context for when you would do this is I usually like to have a meeting with everyone post-event, and it's a group meeting, a group call, where we just kind of debrief of like what happened, what will we do differently, how can we improve? And I usually would like call on people or ask them to unmute because it's usually virtual and share their thoughts. And I'd get some great nuggets out of people, but it was often my talkative teammates who would be stepping up and not so much my more introverted, quieter teammates, even though I know they had stuff they wanted to say. So I had a client use this method where they had us use like a virtual whiteboard. And I will do my bonus already because I just want to tell you it was so amazing. It was Miro, M-I-R-O. I will link it in the description below so you can take a look. And they have partnered with Zoom, so you can actually like screen share Miro into Zoom and have people just kind of view it, but they have to open it in a web browser, but it's just a link and people can join and contribute their thoughts. And the cool part is it like a visual representation of our feedback. And so we were putting Post-it notes in these 4 different quadrants. And now in those 4 different quadrants, I asked 4 different questions. The first one being, what worked well? This is like the positive stuff. We love this. This is all the kudos and happiness that we have of the things that went really, really well. Next one, this is kind of on the other side of things, but what were the blocks or stops that hurt us during the process, or stops that we had to overcome during the process? Think inefficiencies, things that didn't work, processes that maybe you wish you'd done differently, things you wish you'd known at the start of the process. Third one would be, how could we do things differently? What we could do differently is like, hey, we might have done it this way, but I would actually adjust it to doing it this way. And the fourth and final question would be team kudos. Who are you thankful for on the team? This is, again, a nice way to bookend feedback. They always say you want to make like a compliment sandwich where it's like positive, constructive, positive. That's kind of a nice way to add it for this because then you end with giving thanks for everybody. And this was really fun to do as my team. I put just like a timer on for like 5 minutes and we went through it. And it was really helpful because people could just write their feedback down. And then I went through and read some and asked if anyone wanted to add or elaborate on things. And it was really nice just to kind of see our team's brains work and show that there were some people who are vocal and want to talk about it, but other people who'd written really insightful things, but didn't necessarily feel comfortable talking about it. So I can't recommend it more. Asking those 4 guiding questions. You can try the survey like I have. I've done a Google form. You can try a Google Word doc, but try this Miro like whiteboard method. I'm telling you, it was really eye-opening for me and really helped kind of level the playing field no matter what kind of personality my teammates had, and gave me really actionable feedback that I could take back both to the client and apply to my own internal processes. As an added bonus, I'm going to link below. I do have a free post-event report like the template that I use still to this day on a daily basis. I took this Miro board and kind of translated it into that format for myself. And I often will give that to my client as well, so they have a written record of what happened. You can download it for free just by clicking the link below. But that brings me to the end of my video. Thanks so much for listening. This has been another installment of my favorite tips and tricks when it comes to event planning and running your own business. I'll see you again next Monday. Bye.